My main flair was portrait painting. It's very popular because people love to see their own faces on canvas.
Born in 1914, Sylvia Malloy grew up in North Shields and studied a degree in Art and English at Durham University. Teaching in North Wales, she saw her brother's wedding photo from Burma and spotted a man she took a shine to, and had a chance to meet him when he was sent to the UK to complete his English degree.
That's where we first met, when you were at Cambridge.
That's where we met. Yes.
It was love at first sight, and within 3 days Pat had asked her to marry him. However, war broke out and he was sent immediately back to Burma. Sylvia then took the greatest risk of her life. Leaving a distraught mother, she got herself onto a convoy to Asia. She watched helplessly as ships around her were sunk by German U-boats. But she reached Burma safely and got married to Pat, who had become the Assistant District Officer of the Shan States.
The first few years of married life were very interesting because both of us were fit and very active, and we used to go on long tours.
With him, she trekked visiting villages and townships, always sketching and painting the Burmese people. In 1942, the Japanese attacked Burma. Pat and Sylvia left everything, including her artwork which she'd hidden under the floorboards, to drive 300 miles north. It was the monsoon. The roads were clogged with army troops, refugees, thieves and rogues. They reached Myitkyina 11 days later. The RAF were airlifting women and children only. With only the clothes on her back, Sylvia got the last plane out of Burma, not knowing if she'd ever see her husband again. Pat joined a treacherous 3-month trek through the mountains and jungle to escape to India. Several men died along the way before the RAF found them and were able to drop supplies to the desperate men. An emaciated Pat was finally reunited with Sylvia in India. They enjoyed a happy and comparatively peaceful year there, where their first son was born, and came back to England for a short time, where their second son was born, but returned to Burma, where Pat assisted the transition to independence. He had just left the Cabinet Office when General Aung San, father of the current Aung San Suu Kyi, and his ministers were assassinated.
Burma was no use to us then because it had become independent. And the Burmese didn't want any foreigners in there.
They decided not to return to a war-savaged England, but caught a ship to South Africa for their next adventure. They had friends in Johannesburg and ended up living there for the next 16 years. It was the 1950s, and Sylvia carved out a successful art career, teaching and exhibiting her art, which was also accepted by London galleries and the Paris Salon. But she was always inspired by the landscape and people she saw around her. But what with apartheid, the Sharpeville riots and the Declaration of Independence in 1961, the time had come to make a decision.
When this trouble started between the whites and the blacks, then we decided to come back to England. I'm very glad we did.
They settled and enjoyed life in Hertfordshire, and Sylvia continued teaching and painting. She became well known locally and exhibited in London, around the UK and in Europe.
That was shown in the Royal Academy.
Was it, this one? I think I had done 2. The one that the Academy was sold.
Yes.
She was always interested in the everyday lives and struggles of ordinary people, whether they were workmen, cleaners or refugees. Sylvia lived a long and happy life with her husband and family. She died in 2008 at the age of 93, but her art continues to live on.